All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem. With honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Well, peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect, Shalom, Barak and Thumb. And I am going to speak on the, I'll just say the creature that's void of wisdom, all right? And don't be like these people, okay? This story that I'm speaking about is a woman that went viral recently about, her kids got taken advantage of by the man that she married very quickly, all right? Because her being circumspect, and she followed these, TikTok influencers that were telling her how to get a man, how to get a high value man and be spoiled, and it's kind of like a sugar baby type channel where they go and and get coaching or life advice from a woman, which is the stupidest thing that you could possibly do, is get life advice from a woman, because, and this has nothing to do with their intelligence, it has nothing to do with any of that. It's that women are not, if a woman is not emotionally invested into something, all right, the quality of what you're going to get out of that is going to be very minimal, if anything at all. If she's not emotionally invested, that's a wrap, all right? The worst thing you can be is boring. This is why women that have these men that got all kind of money, all right, and they got more than their heart can wish for, all right, but he's not home, they get bored, or they get another guy gives them attention, and they feel some type of way, and before you know it, she's blown her entire marriage up, because that's how you get to a woman, and that's how society is designed. It's playing off the emotions of a woman, and that's one of the reasons Esau put the woman over you, okay? It's because they are a lot easier to control, all right? There's two ways you can control somebody. They say you can either give them an insult or give them a compliment. That's the easiest way to manipulate somebody in a conversation, and there is a lot of truth to that, I believe, okay? Now, if you extrapolate that to a larger picture, you have feminism that they've completely gassed women up. You can be a man. Not at first, anything you can do, I can do better. Now it's like, no, you can literally be one. So it's like everything has gotten, it's a massive compliment if you think about it. It's a massive gaslighting, all right? And on the inverse, you have what? The fear, that controls you, So like a woman, they have the challenge of, would you rather be trapped in the forest with a bear or a man? They all say a bear, because they've been programmed to be triggered by the fear of a man, all right? And so this is how they get controlled and manipulated. So this woman, just another product of this society, chooses the wrong man, all right? And, and according to her, there's more to that story, I guess, but the man ends up, getting to her 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, which is crazy. All right, so they Salakia. So everybody gets on the internet, they're roasting her because they're void of wisdom, and that's true. Women do this all the time. I can't tell you how many women I've ran into. I've met them, and the first date they like back home, and their kid is there. I'm like, aren't you circumspect? You know how many women will tell you they're victims of past, I'll just say traumas, and they just have no sense of wherewithal, no sense of like anything, man. If a woman thinks you're attractive, she will, endanger herself, okay, to get to you, man. I was reminded of a story of a woman that went to Queens in the middle of the night, took a train at like 1 a.m. to go meet a dude she never met before, because her box was that wet. And after all of that, we're afraid of getting on trains and walking down the street at night by herself. Completely went out the window because her feelings, man. All right, this is why the scriptures say Adam was not deceived, but the woman was. And so America has a giant effeminate spirit on it. All right, that's the point. And if you're not guarded If your loins are not girded up, if you're not rooted in this truth and wisdom, you're gonna think just like them women. You're gonna be void of wisdom, just like these women. All right, who are in a complete trick bag right now. All right, who can't be told anything, and they're being spoiled. How are they being spoiled? Their main asset, the main asset of a woman, is a man, and he's used you to destroy that man, to degrade a man. Half the population is beaten off to PORN right now, man. You know, completely feckless, no understanding, don't know what's going on, lost, you know, low testosterone. And this, he did that through the woman. Okay? And that was the woman's saving grace. How are women gonna be, how would a woman have a hedge against the US government? They're men. Okay? And look at the quality of men nowadays. Destroyed. Okay? The scriptures say our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. All right, when we go out there and we preach the truth, and it's rejected, you know. Now, furthermore, on that story, it turns out that woman that was on the internet that had her kids, you know, played with, the niece of her husband that's being accused, came on and said none of that ever happened. That it was her oldest son. All right, then more information came out about her, about how she had a toxic relationship. Her baby daddy, they said it was her oldest son that did it to her younger daughters. You know, so you gotta really, damn, they asked Martin Cole. You gotta really be circumspect, Akim. All right, be careful about the women that you're dealing with, because you could land up in a scenario where the accusation is it. That's all that they need, and your life is ruined in this society, man. You know. Now, you know the Lord is going to see us through, but the scriptures say make no provision for the flesh. All right. So, you know you got weaknesses around certain things, man. Don't be in that situation, man. You know. Maybe you need to just cool off of women for a minute. You know, because they are kind of bugged out and out of their minds, especially after this whole election debacle. All right, so we got to really be circumspect. All right, if you're not guarded and you're not rooted in this thing, if your mind isn't occupied in prophecy, you're gonna think just like a woman, because that's all there is to do. Even these so-called masculine alpha men, when you really think about it, they have a masculine persona. They present masculine. All right, but their way of thinking is effeminate. It's weak. All right. They do not look up at the root. The same masculine alpha men will have all of these talking points about how women are a problem, women are this, women are that. But then you try to explain to them why women are this way, the root cause of it, which is the devil who's running the society, the elites. All of a sudden they bitch up. You know, they don't want to deal with the so-called white man that passed all of these laws, these policies, that's pushing this culture, that's funding this degeneracy. All right, it's in everything. It's in female marketing. You know, all of the products. It's in the music. It's in television, and it's not a coincidence. Okay, they don't want to deal with that problem. That the women are not really responsible for any of the major problems today. What you're seeing is a symptom of it. All right, and so they want to have all these talking points about getting on women, and they deserve to be held accountable and rebuked, of course. But what you really need to have as a man, a real masculine man, is going to be like, well, okay, what's the outcome? What's the end game? How do I solve this problem? It's a large problem. All right, they don't want to think about it, but we have the answer. We're telling you prophecies unfolding. You know, what's the solution? Well, the solution is already on the way. Okay, that's Yahushua. He's going to destroy this place. Okay, that's the solution. Okay, but you can't even get there because men are so afraid to address the so-called white man that's in power. They'll bitch about child support. Well, 75% of the judges are men. Okay, it's men passing these laws over you. Satan has set up a system to oppress you. Okay, so you can't make women a scapegoat, even though they're accountable. You know, you gotta deal with these things, man. Don't be like the behavior that we see in women, man. You know, because effeminate behavior doesn't always translate to, you know, what do you call it, bravado. You know, this raw salakia. It doesn't always translate to whatever the opposite of bravado would be, with this soft-spoken thing. You know, being effeminate is a mindset. It's a way of thinking. Okay. Part of that way of thinking is being myopic. Women are short-sighted creatures. They're myopic. They don't think about the future that much. That's why they're more susceptible to credit card debt. All right. That's why they're more likely to get taken advantage of on a used car dealership. Okay. Because they're looking at the color. They get inside and they smell it, how it smells. All right. But they not paying attention that one rim is a different size than the other rim. You know, their focus of detail goes out the window because their emotions take over them, you know, because they're short-sighted, okay? And men are long-sighted, and that's what I mean by that effeminate behavior that are on most men. They're just like whatever. They're just living day to day. Let everybody, well, where's that going? Love is love. Let everybody do, well, wait a minute. As a man, you should be thinking about how are they going to impact things, you know? As a man, you should be looking at it like, okay, herpes is 50% of the population. Maybe I shouldn't just let everybody do whatever they want to do. You know, as a man that's supposed to run a society and have laws, y'all are just like, no, let it happen. And before you know it, it's going to be like Genesis 19, all right, where everybody in the whole city, all 5 cities out there, between Sodom and Gomorrah and the other 3 cities, okay, the whole city was gone, to the point they were knocking on their door and demanding things. You know, that comes from men that are like, well, just let people do what they do. You know, no, man. That's why the scriptures say, do not suffer sin upon your brother. There's a reason these things are written, because that's how men are supposed to rule, man. You're supposed to hold people accountable. All right, it's called integrity. You know, so this society is getting ready to collapse. And we know that because the vast majority of men think this way, man. Men, so-called men. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the women? If a bunch of men have a mindset of a woman, when a real crisis and calamity happens, it's going to be through. That's how we know that we're at the end, because the Lord wanted these people in a proud spirit, yet a weakened mind. All right? It says the mighty men of Babylon are forborn to fight. That the Lord did that, man. The Lord set this place up to go down, man. You know? So I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak V'Dah Shalom. Come Yasharallah, on to the next.